students, this is part 8, Electrostatics chapter 1, still continuing, and the topic is the charge distribution on conductors and electric lines. Again, I am telling you that from one video to another video you have to go through it. Then only the sequence will be understood by you. Here also, because previously what I have explained the superposition of electric field, and all the electric field they are developed due to stable point charges or group of point charges. Now this is something else. Now listen, and if you have any doubt, you please ring to me on my mobile number from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the morning. I will be available. I will note down your problems, topics on the notebook, and then I will explain it again. Okay? Now see, this is the first part, which is continuous charge distribution. Listen, the electric field that is developed due to stable point charge. So far you have studied that the electric field, in order to develop the electric field, there should be a point charge, it should not move, it should be stable, or there should be several stable point charges which will make a system. So far you have understood. Suppose this is a stable point charge. You have learned about the electric fields of a stable point charge. Now, if the charge is distributed continuously, suppose if a wire is there, infinite long wire is there, whether that wire is straight or curved, and it is charged, then that charge is uniformly distributed over its length, whether it is straight conductor or curved conductor. So here, this is the thing, and the charge can also be distributed on the surface also. The surface having got infinite dimensions, the charge is also distributed there also. It can also be a body that has got the volume that can also be charged. And all the charges, they come on the surface. They do not have any value inside the conductor. Inside the conductor, no charge resides. All the charges, due to their mutual property of repulsion, they come out and gets equally distributed on the surface. So these are the distribution of the charge. So many charges are there, and they are equally distributed. So here you have to delete the quantum nature of the charge. You have to delete the quantum nature. Now you have to adopt the continuous distribution. The charge is spread up either along the length or on the surface or on the volume. So this is called continuous charge distribution. When the charge is continuously being distributed, spread up along the length, along the surface or in the volume. That is called continuous charge distribution. Now, it can be of three types: one dimension, two dimension, and three dimension. Suppose if the charge, there is a straight conductor, straight or curved wire of length L, and the total charge on it is Q, and it has got infinite dimension, infinitely long. Then how to calculate the electric field? You want to calculate the electric field due to this type of charge distribution. So for this, you should know which dimension is this. This is single dimension. It can be either in the direction of x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. So single. So it is called one dimension charge distribution. And this type of charge distribution is called linear charge distribution. The charge is linearly distributed, spread out. And from this, you are able to calculate first of all the linear charge density. What is linear charge density? Calculation of the charge on unit length of that conductor. Calculation of the charge on unit length of the conductor. From the definition itself becomes the formula. It is denoted by lambda. So charge upon length. But since it is infinitely long, the charge is distributed in infinite process. So you have to take a small piece of that conductor, let it be, its length is dl, and the charge presented, it will also be small dq, here also and here also. Then the formula will become lambda is equal to dq upon dl. And its SI unit is coulomb per meter. So lambda and the dimension formula also you can calculate. The dimension formula comes from the formula of the lambda. It is dq upon dl. dq can be written I dt upon dl. I is a, dt means time, capital T, L comes up, L inverse. So this is all about linear charge distribution, from which you will calculate first of all linear charge density, and then you will calculate the value of electric field intensity. Now the second distribution, that is surface charge distribution. Here the charge is uniformly spread up on the entire surface. So here I have taken a surface whose value is S, you can call it a area also, and the total charge available on it is Q. But that Q total charge is uniformly distributed over the total surface. Now, here also, since the surface can be very long, of more dimensions, so here also you will cut out a small surface ds, which contains a small amount of charge distribution d. This you have to do when the available surface is of infinite dimensions. So it is of two dimension case. It is not of one dimension. This is one dimension. This is two dimension. Why? It is of two dimension case because this surface has a length and breadth, or breadth and height, or breadth or length, two dimensions. Anyone can you select as x-axis and y-axis. So it is a two-dimensional case. So that is why I have written here two-dimension charge distribution. And from here you can calculate the surface charge density first of all. So suppose if the charge is distributed over the entire surface, then you should recognize it that it is two-dimension case. First of all, you will calculate the surface charge density. What is its definition? Simple. Whenever you are able to calculate the charge per unit surface or per unit area, that means charge divided by area. So it is denoted by sigma is equal to dq upon ds. The SI unit is coulomb per meter square. It comes from the formula itself, coulomb per meter square. Meter square is the SI unit of area. And the dimension also you can have from the formula dq. This is area, ds means area. Length into breadth, or breadth itself is a length, length into length. So here comes for I, A, T and L means L square, capital L square comes up. So this is the dimension. Now the third charge distribution is volume charge distribution. When the available charge is continuously spread up over the entire volume. Here I have taken a cube. It can be cuboid. It can be of any irregular shape having a definite volume. But that volume is also of infinite dimension. So let the total volume is V, the total available charge which is spread up, that is Q. Now here also, since the dimension is infinite of that volume, here you have to cut down a small volume, and that small volume is dq. dV. The small volume is dV, and the charge available in this small volume is dq. It is dq. So this gives the volume charge distribution when the available charge is continuously spread up over the entire volume. That is called volume charge distribution. It is three-dimensional case because the volume, you know well its formula, length into breadth into height. Here this height you can regard it as y-axis, this length you can regard it as x-axis, and this thing can be regarded as z-axis. So three-dimensional case. It is a three-dimensional. So this is three-dimension charge distribution. And then from this three-dimensional charge distribution, if you have to calculate the electric field intensity, first of all, now this is volume charge density. If you want to calculate the electric field intensity due to volume charge distribution, then first of all you have to calculate the rho. The rho means volume charge density. The formula is charge divided by volume, means dq upon dv. Its SI unit is coulomb per meter cube, and the dimensional formula you can also calculate from the formula itself. dq can be written as I dt, L into B into H, I A times E, L B H, all the three are lengths, L, so L to the power minus 3. So this is all about the charge distribution. This is a very important topic. So go through it, learn all the videos, and if you have any doubt, you can ring to me on my number from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the morning. Okay, thank you very much.